Welcome to my channel, to everyone who's new here, and of course to those of you who are back again. Great to have you here. In this video we will take a look together at possible scenarios for the price development of SUI, Avalanche, HBAR and Dogecoin. Things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. So what I want to tell you is that we had some insane trades. Whoever took it, congratulations. So let's dive into SUI. Our plan was, once the $3.80 breaks to the upside and we get our retest, that our next trade should be possible at $3.93, I think, or 92 over the white trend line, and then another trade over $4.05. So we are always scaling up, doubling up our position. So what actually happened was that we failed the retest, broke to the downside again in the lower part of the bull flag, not a big deal. Here was a brutal breakout where we had a lot of fair value gaps. And the retest didn't happen like we wanted it to be, to scale up more often. So we wanted actually here a breakout, a retest, a breakout and a retest. So there we could have doubled up our position size. In this case, we got a huge breakout and a retest of the $3.80. So basically here was our entry into the market. We got a huge buy up. So what I have done was, once I saw this candle here being here, I took a limit order a bit over $3.80. So basically I got into the market very quick, and afterwards we have said once the bull flag breaks to the upside, right here, $4.04, we broke it to the upside. The retest was kind of weird, but with this candle, it was clear that this was the follow through. Position size increasement into $4.25. There I took a bit profits. But my stop loss order for my position is right here. So if everything goes wrong, my long position is even closed with a stop loss in profits. Also, I took a bit profits right here, but once the $4.25 breaks to the upside, then I will increase my position size a lot. So everything looks good to me. I can still expect a pullback, and this pullback should be filling this fair value gap. And I will also put you here 2 price marks. That's the area between $4.09 to $4.13.3. that I think SUI is going to get, and afterwards I want to see a nice push. So over the weekend I want to see a consolidation within a falling wedge or a bull flag into this area, and afterwards a breakout. And this breakout should be the breakout over $4.25 afterwards, something like this. And then we can be happy, because I think if we go into the 8-hour chart, then you can also see that the green trend line is quite a resistance, but people set their stop loss order right here. That's what people usually do. They set stop loss orders for a short position over tops and for long positions lower than lows. And you can see it, we got quite often rejected here as well. So we fished the stop loss, and now I want to see a consolidation within a bullish chart pattern to continuing this uptrend. And then we have to see, my overall target is going to be the $6 to $8 for SUI. I know that's a huge spread, but if we have some bullish chart patterns which are directing us into a specific target, then it's going to be very good and very precise in my opinion. So let's dive into Avalanche. So about Avalanche, we have said here wasn't a trade possible in my opinion. We have said right here that this might be an inverted head and shoulders formatation, but we need the breakout. And if that is going to happen, then I'm going to take the trade once we break the $25 to the upside. So this didn't happen. So no trade for Avalanche. And I can delete this one as well. What I think is kind of positive is that we had here some kind, I don't want to say a double bottom pattern, but we had something like a rounding bottom with a breakout. Now we are having fair value gaps, so I can even imagine getting, like I have drew this here, into the fair value gap, $23.50, getting there, and afterwards the push. And the first trade I'm going to take is once we get over $26.88. Why? Because I don't see anything else for Avalanche. We have far better coins, like for example HBAR and Dogecoin, where we had the chance to get in far more safer trades. Here it would be, in my opinion, with my trading setup, it would just be blankly going long or short, and I'm not going to do it. I want to have some evidence, means some chart patterns or trend lines which we break to the upside, and can measure the target of Avalanche. So I would just wait. I will expect a pullback over the weekend, and then we have to see what kind of pullback is it going to be. Maybe within a falling wedge or a panel, which afterwards break to the upside, and then I'm ready to take a trade for Avalanche. So a bit more patience would be good for Avalanche. But if we look into HBAR, here was a huge trade possible. We had here a falling wedge, broke to the upside, got its retest. Our target, since we were somewhere here, was the lower part of the bull flag, and we went there twice. Afterwards we have said, okay, target is going to be the 25.7 cents, but since this falling wedge is targeting over the green trend line, we should see a breakout there as well. And with this huge price movement, I knew that HBAR was kinda bullish. We broke the 25.7 cents to the upside and got our perfect retest over 3 hours. So we had 3 hours time getting into a trade. If I hadn't taken a trade in that area, then I could have taken a trade right here. So there was the increasement of the position. Then we have also said $27.7. If they break to the upside inclusively and retest, then this bull flag should get activated and we should see prices. First target, the price mark of 30 cents, which is the top right here. And afterwards, 31.8 cents to 34 cents. So since I'm in an HBAR position, I set my stop loss, and you can already see it here. Here's a white trend line. I can make this one red, but this trend line is not for shorting. It's just for my stop loss order. So my stop loss order is lower than the white trend line. So lower than 27.57 cents. But with lower, I mean not lower like this or like this. It should be very close, but also keep in mind that we can also wick a bit lower than that, and then I don't want to get fished out my stop loss. So that's why I put my stop loss 2% lower than this white trend line. So basically, if I'm getting out of the trade, then my trade is going to be in very, very good profits, even with the stop loss. So I'm safe with the trade, and I'm going to take profits once we hit certain price marks of 33 cents and above. So what about Dogecoin? I think for Dogecoin, we have two different scenarios which are very near to each other. This also looks like an head and shoulders formatation. So if we break it to the downside, which is the price mark of 22 cents, then I would say this is not good, and we can think about lower prices, even down to 19 cents and lower. But what I also see is we had here a double bottom pattern, which broke to the upside, and this trend line right here, which is the center trend line of that bull flag. We broke it to the upside, we got our retest. So now I'm waiting for the 24.5 cents breaking to the upside. That's why this trend line is green, because this can also be a double bottom pattern, a bigger one. So we had one right here, and we have one right here, and we have the breakout over the center line, and you can see it here. It was support, here it was support, here it was support, here it was resistance, here it was resistance, here it was resistance, and now the breakout with the retest support right here. So the center line has importance. So let's see. If we break the red trend line to the downside, 23.3 cents, and I don't want to have this trend line red because this is not a short trend line. But once this breaks to the downside, then the chance is very high that we should drop to 22 cents. And if it breaks to the downside, then we should see lower prices. And the possibility, once we break the 23.3 cents to the downside, it would get high to break the 22 cents as well to the downside. So let's hope the 23.3 cents holds and we break the 24.5 cents to the upside. Target is going to be the 27 cents for Dogecoin. And the 27 cents for Dogecoin right here would be the breakout over the 26 cents. We have to go into the 4-hour time frame, and then you can see a big double bottom pattern. And we have also said that the 26 cents, if they break to the upside, they broke to the upside right here, and we got our retest. And I have done a video right here where I have said I doubt actually that this retest is going to hold and we are going to get higher prices. I doubt it because we have had a huge resistance area over us. I will also show you that right here. We have quite often, you can see it how often the price bounced to the upside, but you can also see 2 times in a row we got rejected there. So this resistance is going to be more difficult to break to the upside, and we also have formed here a bear flag. So my speculation was we fail the retest, so we get lower prices, but if we break the 26 cents a second time to the upside, then this should be actually the breakout over the purple area, and I will still stick to that analysis. Why? Because everything suits. Everything looks good. We are within a bull flag, which breaks to the upside at, let me look for the price mark, at roundabout 25.3 cents. There I don't want to take the long position. I want to wait for the 26 cents to increase my position size. And this bull flag is a bullish pattern. So once this breaks to the upside, we can expect some volume, and this volume can actually indicate the breakout over the purple area. And then the overall target would be the 37 cents. So if we just look how much potential profit there is from starting 24.5 cents up to 26 cents, that's 5.75%. If we break it to the upside, if I see there a retest as well, I will double up my position size. Then we have to see if we are going to find more chart patterns where we can increase our position size even more in the future. But if we just take our lowest point, that would be with our first entry, 55%. And once we double up our position size at 26 cents, that would be 45% profits for our second entry. So what is the average of it? I think it is around about 49%. So 49% profit is possible without leverage for Dogecoin. But I want to see that kind of setup, and then it's going to look good. And if you think that 46% is not possible, I can just show you that here we had an inverted head and shoulders formatation down here. This one broke to the upside, and we had here our bull flag, which also broke to the upside, got a retest. And if we just take it to 26 cents, so we don't take it to the 29 cents, just to the 26 cents, 50% profits. And we are in the 1 hour chart. So basically, this price movement since the breakout was made within 9 days. 9 days and 15 hours. So basically it is not a day trade like in a few hours I'm going to do 50% without leverage. It will take a few days, even sometimes a few weeks, but within that time frame we can even increase our position size more if we see more patterns. Like for example here, we had our inverted head and shoulders formatation. We got our breakout, we can measure it. The maximum target was the length of the whole head. We got there, but we got a consolidation within a bull flag instead of having a bearish chart pattern. This price movement also was very impulsive. So if we see some impulsive structure, then we can expect bullish chart patterns developing. Then we got a breakout, retest, and getting higher prices. So what I want to show you is that we have some good potential, but we need breakouts. We need breakouts because I know that some people don't rely on breakouts and on trend lines and think it doesn't matter. Anyway, there is a market mechanism behind that. There is a market mechanism. Why that? Because within that bull flag, we have people who are shorting right here, who are shorting here, who have their stop loss orders right here, above here, and those people are going to get liquidated. And we will see some volume because the price is going to move, hopefully, in an impulsive way. So we liquidate everyone out. New momentum traders, long traders, are going into the market to liquidate even more short traders. Then more short traders will enter the market, but the price is going to move up into their stop loss or liquidation level. And then this can happen. Why that? Because we have fair value gaps. So that's why I rely on chart patterns, because there is a market mechanism behind this. Also in that head and shoulders formatation, where people go long in that area, have their liquidation price here, 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 stop loss orders here as well, and they should get hit once we break to the downside. And then momentum traders like me get into the market to catch those liquidation and stop losses. So basically behind everything is a market mechanism, and we have to think about it. Yeah, if you don't want to rely on chart patterns and trend lines, not a big deal. You have your own strategy, and I hope you are profitable with that. I'm profitable with the setup which I have here: fair value gaps, chart patterns, support and resistance. And also the RSI, which I also look seldomly in, not every day, but quite often, to see some bullish divergences or bearish divergences. Once the market situation is unclear to me, then I rely a lot on the RSI. Yeah, and I think it is also a kind of the best indicator in my opinion, the RSI. So learn how to use the RSI, in my opinion, best indicator. And then you can also see if the market is overheated. Like for example here the market is overheated, and afterwards we see some kind of an pullback. But the pullback can be within a bullish pattern or within a bearish pattern. That's what we have to see afterwards. But if we look into the 8-hour chart, then you can also see how often we are overheated, but we can still expect higher prices before we get a bigger pullback. And that bigger pullback, it doesn't look much, but it's still minus 22%. And the RSI told us that, because it said same highs, higher highs in the chart, bearish divergence. And yeah, okay, let me do it perfectly. And here we got the breakout. So we can also work with the RSI as well, but I depend more on chart patterns and fair value gaps. They worked so good since a longer while. So basically, I hope that I gave you some valuable information with this video, and we will see each other in the Render, Tau, Kaspa and ONDO update.